I got older, and when they turned me heel, I saw that as a good opportunity to change my name because I wasn't a kid anymore. I was 28, 29 years old or something like that, and had a receding hairline. As you can see, I've got 5 yards of forehead. But so I figured I'd stay with the electricity motif.
What did you think initially about the heel turn?
I liked it. And N.W. Sasso, this guy, was the one who came up with the idea.
Right.
And as the story was told to me, he said, we should turn Jerry heel, and Bobby Dahl said, he'll never do it. So they called me, and Bobby said, would you like to turn heel? And I said, sure. You know, because it was a switch. I joined the Black Sheep. And
right.
The way we did it was pretty cool, because it was kind of my idea, the way we did it. I mean, the original idea of me turning heel was Kyle's idea, Sasso. But I had a match with Cornbread. Well, I had a bunch of babyface matches leading up to where I was going over, so I demanded that I would be the #1 contender. And Cornbread was the champion at the time. So I won all these babyface matches leading up to a babyface title match. So it was me and Cornbread. The Commissioner, Patrick J. Kelly, gave me the title shot, and me and Cornbread were screwing off. And Bobby Dahl was worried about it too. He's like, if you ruin my main event, I'm going to be pissed. Because he didn't think it would work. But what we did was we'd lock up and then we'd do-si-do into a comedy spot.
Right.
And it would piss Patrick J. Kelly off.
Because he was the heel at the time.
Exactly. He was the heel commissioner. He's like, this is serious. This is for the championship. So we'd, you know, do thumb wrestling, and I'd jump in his arms and he'd carry me around like we were buddies, just trying to piss off the commissioner. So he said, all right, screw this. This is a no disqualification match. You two are going to kill each other for that belt. And, of course, we did all that. And then he said, I'm bringing the Black Sheep out here. So, of course, Bobby and C-Note and Danny Rowland at the time, the Black Sheep, come out and surround the ring, and me and Cornbread are back-to-back. And Danny Rowland throws me a steel pipe, and I turn around and whack Cornbread with it, and all the air went out of the room. Nobody saw it coming. It was perfectly done. And I turned heel and won the belt that night and joined the Black Sheep. Mm-hmm. And that pole was then turned the lightning rod.
Which is genius, I think. And then at that point, you became Mr. Electricity, mm-hmm. Jerry Reiner. You held the belt for a few months and ultimately lost it to...
Scott Armstrong. And that's an interesting story, too, because I had 2 championships at the time. Because in Milton, I was babyface.
For what promotion?
And I was still the Lightning Kid for Southeastern, which was Steve Armstrong's promotion in Milton. And I was the TV champion up there. And I was a babyface. And then I was a heel in PWA, and I was a heavyweight champion. The funny thing was, on the same day, the 2 TV shows aired pretty much back-to-back, like a half hour apart. And I lost the Southeastern TV title to Brian, Road Dogg, as a babyface. And then half hour later on the PWA show, I lost the heavyweight title to Scotty as a heel. So 2 Armstrong brothers beat me for 2 titles, and that aired on the same day. It was 2 days, I think it was a Saturday and a Sunday that the shows were. Damn those Armstrongs.
At that point, we transitioned to PWA, went from the little garage on Cervantes in Brownsville, and went to the Club Carousel on Highway 29. We were getting a lot of TV. Percy Pringle and Marcel Pringle got themselves involved. It was good to have Percy there. I mean, the guy has been everywhere and has a few T-shirts, and he's in some video games and stuff.
I work for Percy, so we'll kiss his ass a little bit.
Absolutely.
So I can keep getting booked.
I don't work there yet, so. We had an influx of guys at that point. Mm-hmm. Your Monty Warbucks, your Nick Bondage, Chris Ace. We had a lot of guys from all over the Southeast at that point coming in. Mm-hmm. What were your thoughts on all these guys? You didn't get to work all of them because you got hurt.
I thought it was great. The reason for that, PWA started off at Bobby Dahl ran a school. And the reason he had the PWA was to use his students and give them, you know, let them learn how to do promos, things like that, have them on TV, and it was spotlighting the students. As it grew, he started bringing in other guys, and PWA became more of a promotion for PWA. The school kind of became secondary. Originally, it was all about the school and highlighting the students. And then when we went into the carousel and TV started getting popular and people started saying, hey, you know, people on the street, you'd bump into them, they'd know what the PWA was. he brought it to a bigger venue. He brought in more guys, and it was more about running it as a promotion, making the promotion better rather than highlighting the students. So I think that's what the move was about,
right.
And why other guys were being brought in.
Some of those guys you did work, some of them you didn't. Were there any favorites of the new guys? And is there a different wrestling style from a guy from, say, northern Alabama or Mississippi as opposed to northwest Florida area?
In my experience, there is. Florida guys, to me, are lighter. Louisiana guys are stiff as hell. North Mississippi guys are stiff. Other than that, really, there's not a big difference. And what was the beginning of the question? I forgot. It was a two-parter, and the styles was... Oh, who did I work that I enjoyed?
Right.
Chad Cheatham. I worked him once, and we had a good match. And Chad actually got really pissed off at one point after a match and went back and chewed out Bobby Dahl backstage. And it was reported to me that what he said was, "You've had me wrestling shit guys except for Jerry," which made me feel really good. And I wasn't there, so he didn't have to say that. But Chad, let's see, who else? Really, I mostly work students. I'm assuming because I could kind of carry some of them. I worked Red Anderson a lot. I worked Jay Starcard a lot. I had runs with both of them that seemed like they lasted months and months. And really, I blew my knee out wrestling Satanico after Cheatham. And before that was my run with Darkheart, so really I didn't get a chance to wrestle any of the new guys coming in.
Right. You mentioned Chad wrestled crap guys. Were there any guys...
They weren't crap guys in my opinion. I'm saying. This was Chad saying that.
I'm asking your opinion now, though. Any crap guys, you don't have to mention names. You can just kind of roundabout. Anybody who has no business being... I mean, this...
In PWA at that time, or just anything?
In the entire Gulf Coast wrestling area now, our little 300 to 400 mile radius of, guys. Anybody who really needs to train a little harder.
Anybody who needs to get buried? Oh, God. Well, if you ask anybody and sit them in this chair, the first thing they're going to say is Fabian. I've tried to train with Fabian a little bit, but I've never actually wrestled him in a match. I always try to... I defend him more than anybody else does. I try to... If he had been born in the 50s and 60s, he would have been champion of the world.
Sure.
Because he's got that big stocky build, and he's stiff, and he's awkward. And he's got the biggest heart, but he just doesn't have the mindset or the skill to back it up. And I tried... And I don't know, I like talking to... I don't hate the guy, like a lot of people seem to. And he tries. God bless him. I was in the ring with him at the PWA school back in the day, trying to teach him flip bumps. Just going over and taking a bump, and he could not do it. And he tried and tried and tried, and was getting frustrated, but he just couldn't do it. I don't know.
Couldn't think of anybody else.
I guess. Well, that's all I could say about him, I guess. I like the guy though. Don't come beat me up. I'm a performer. I'm not a fighter. Who else does everybody bury? I can't think of... Oh, Turbo Ted is like wrestling a freaking fire hydrant. I know that. I wrestled him starting out, and he's so stiff. And he's not that good. And I love you, Ted. Love you like a brother, but he's not that good. I guess just the style difference. And, quit whispering over there. I'm getting suggestions from the gallery over here. I've never thought... In-ring ability, I don't think Corey Jackson is that bad. I just think he doesn't have his head on straight.
To go to the opposite end of the spectrum, who in the area, in our little Gulf Coast wrestling, who could go to the next level? Who has it?
Who could go to WWE or TNA right now?
Right. Who could you see leaving? And you can say